Hey everybody and welcome back. Today I am doing my best friend's mom hair, who is also my mom because she's been in my life since I was 2 years old. And she called me recently with some concern. She loves wearing her hair in heat style. She doesn't wear it any other way. But she was talking to me about how her hair has been coming out super silky straight lately, and what can we do to make it appear a little fuller? So the truth is, hair does thin with age, and her hair is not as heavy and full as it used to be. So sometimes you have to do a few things to make it appear a little fuller than it really is. So that's what we're going to do today. So first, I am going to start by sectioning off her hair and just gently combing it out. I know we always talk about how important it is to gently comb the hair because you don't want to cause any breakage while the hair is weak. The hair is weakest when it's wet, so you want to take your time. I'm using a Denman brush today. I'm going to put the link for the Denman brush below simply because I love the Spornet brush that I always give you guys, but it doesn't last as long as a Denman. The Denman is a lot more expensive, but it lasts a lot longer. So in the salon is best for us because the Spornet brush, after a while, it starts to melt from all the excessive heat from the blow dryer, but the Denman holds up much longer. So also, I might have a little connect for y'all with this blow dryer coming up. I'm just keep y'all fingers crossed because I might got a little situation where we don't never gotta wait again. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and I am blow drying her today on lower heat, on the lower heat setting. This way, even though the hair will still get straight with a lower heat setting, it'll still have a lot more texture than it usually does when I do a blow dry, so that that hair will be a lot fuller when I'm done. Another way to help the hair look a lot fuller is to blow dry in larger sections. So this section that I'm doing right now would usually be about 2 sections for texture like hers. But because we want it to look a lot heavier today, we are going to blow dry it in bigger sections to help avoid breaking it down so much with the heat. So as you get older, your hair strands become smaller and they also have less pigment. So the thick, coarse hair that you may have once had eventually becomes thin and fine. This is also why the hair turns lighter and even gray. Many hair follicles even stop producing new hair. So this is the reason that this is happening, most of the time when you get older, even not even like in your 60s and 70s, but as time goes on, period. You might had a lot of hair when you was a kid. A lot of people love bringing up how much hair they had when they were a kid. And it's like, okay, when you're a kid, that's just how your hair was. But as you get older, things just start to happen to your hair, your body, your skin, and everything. So that's the real reason, the scientific reason why that happens. So now that her hair is blown out, I guess you could see it's some texture to it. It's straight, but it's not as silky as most clients that I do. And I'm just going to comb it out, and looking at her ends, another way to make your hair seem a lot fuller is to get those stringy, straggly ends off. So I'm going to take my Her Stranger hair shears, of course, and I am going to go in and I am just going to take off the thinnest part of her hair to put some more weight on it. Before I trimmed, I asked her, I said, Mom, you want to take some hair off or you want to go ahead and do what needs to be done? So we took it took her about 25, 30 seconds. She's like, and I'm like, we don't have to, but, she's like, just do what needs to be done. So I'm glad that she chose that. I'm always glad when people choose that, even though I'm down with gradually taking people's ends off, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't even offer them that option. I would just tell them, you need to cut this off. But I always want people to feel comfortable in the chair, even if it is somebody super close to me. I want you to be comfortable. So if you want to gradually take it off, that's literally your business. You know what I mean? So don't let anybody force you into doing what needs to be done right away if you're not comfortable. Do what needs to be done. But even if you do gradually take your ends off, that means that you should get a trim a little more often than 8 to 10 weeks, because you don't want those split ends to continue to split, and in the long run you end up having to cut them even shorter. So just remember that if you choose the long road, just make sure that you get your ends trimmed a little more often than the normal time frame. Next, I'm just pulling the hair up in her crown, because this is her thinnest area, the crown. So I'm pulling it up and I'm going to give her heavy layers. Now, usually, I just go along with the ends, whatever needs to go. And I am cutting what needs to go up here too. But I'm going a little bit deeper just to make it a lot heavier, so that it just has a lot of weight. Remember, we talked about this before. If you are in hair school, do not cut past that knuckle, because you will get in trouble if you still have practical on your test. Do not cut past that knuckle. I'm just doing it because I'm living my best life. But you don't do that, okay? Don't be like, I learned this on Deeper Than Hair TV. It's really easy to get caught up in what we see online, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, the original way that you were taught to cut is like falling off of the map because of what we see online. So don't let that happen. Do what you're supposed to do. Get that paper, and then, then you can move forward and do what's most comfortable for you. But although I'm showing you how I do things, don't mess it up for your test. All right. Now I'm pulling it up at the top just to make sure that it is even everywhere. If you saw the last video or the video where I trim my own ends, I like to pull the hair up high too, because if you just pull your hair completely out and just keep going through it with your hands, it should be even all the way around, just an even cut, okay? So no unevenness anywhere. So see, now compared to how it was, it's a lot heavier, and it's going to give the illusion of fuller hair, which is what we're going for. So now I'm going to grab the 22 Titania, and I'm going to put it on the temperature of 380. Now, I know a lot of people hair will not get as straight as desired on 380, but what we are doing again is trying to keep the hair on the fuller side. So that's why we're going to use the low heat. See this little patchiness here? She also does semi-permanent color on her hair every couple of weeks. And when she retouches it, she tries not to do the back. She just does the edges and all in the crown where you're seeing it, so that she doesn't have to constantly put color on her hair. So that's why you see those patches in the roots, because that's where her hair is growing in, and that's also her natural hair color. Now, usually I will do a tight curl along the back that matches the rest of her hair, but she wants to show the length that she has. So what I'm doing is I am just curling it very loose, basically bending it so that her hair can lay on her neck, and then I'll make it tighter with, the higher up that we go. So I'm going in and I'm grabbing hair, and I'm doing about 1 inch, 1.5 inch sections, just because the thinner the section is, the more heat that's concentrated on that piece of hair. So you don't want to do that because that's going to break it down with the heat more. If you do bigger sections with lower heat, then that will leave as much texture in there as possible so that the hair can be full. So now that we are working our way up closer to where the ear is, we are going to make the curls a little bit tighter. Not super tight. I'm just going to start giving a little swirl, just to put a little action in there and help it look full. And how I also do this is to give it a little volume. When I go in with my iron, I like to pull the iron upward first and then do my curl. That way the hair at the root sits up and it gives it more volume. Okay, let me show you that again. I'm going to take that section and take your iron and curl up right off that base. Just curl upwards and then you go into your curl. That way the root sits up and gives that volume that she is looking for. See? See, now watching it from the side, you're going to be able to see how that curl is sitting up and out instead of just flat to her head. See? Nice and full. Now, the higher I get towards the crown, I am going to curl it even tighter, and I'm also going to lift it. You see, I went all the way around at the top because I want it to be more volume at the top because that's her problem areas. Now, with this step, I'm just going to take that top curl at the top of the crown and I'm going to curl it all the way around and just make it one big curl so she can have the height that she's looking for. And then I would have deleted this part because the light is so blown out. That's why it looks so bright at her roots. But it was such an important step. I couldn't skip it for y'all. And now I'm going to do the same thing I did with the nape of the neck by making it loose. I'm doing that with the bangs so she can have her length there. And I'm going to do the rest of the hair just like I did the top of the crown. And boom. She has her height, she has her volume, she has her fullness, and she has her curl. Now, she wraps her hair up every night with a silk or satin scarf, but guess what? She does it on top of rollers. She still rolls her hair at night. Like, isn't it so amazing? I envy it. She rolls her hair at night. So she rolls her hair and then she puts her, satin scarf over top of it. And her hair is super healthy. It's just going through a few things, as time goes on. So I'm just going to take our laid edge control and I'm going to put it on her edges. Again, the light is a little bright on this part, but I'm going on her edges and I'm just going to lay them down because she calls them personal summers, but she also sweats sometimes randomly. So this helps her, roots and her edges not to draw up so tight when those personal summers come. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time.